Today we will start with our new subunit, Old and New Religions, Class 7, Chapter number 1, that tracing changes through 1,000 years. So in this subunit, we will discuss how new and old religions intermixed, how old religions improved into and add something new, and some new religions also emerged in the Indian subcontinent. So first, we have to know that what do you mean by religion? The religion is a word, it is a meaning that collective belief in supernatural agency. Supernatural agency means here God or some supreme being. So it was often closely connected with people's socio-economic organization, and it was affect people's life, their culture and customs in various ways. Now we will see that what were the changes occurred at the time in the religions. The first one we take the Hinduism. That important changes in Hinduism occurred at the time. First one, people started worshipping new deities. At the time, people started worshipping new deities like Vishnu, Shiva, Kali, etc. Previously, they had worshipped some natural forces or powers like thunder, like water, like sun, their moon, etc. You have already read about Varun, Agni, Soma, etc. Those gods and goddesses. Now in this case, they started worshipping new deities like Vishnu, Kali, the Shiva, etc. Number 2, the temples were being constructed by the royal kings. Now temples also constructed by the support of the kings and queens. You have already read this in class 6, last chapter. Now importance of Brahmanas, especially the priests, were increased in the society because of their knowledge of Sanskrit. At the time, in the society, the Brahmanas, the influence of the Brahmanas also increased, and they were considered the most superior clan in the society. And why this thing was happened? Because the support of their patrons consolidated their positions. The patrons means a group of people or a ruling class or a community that decides everything in the society. So their patrons also in this case played a very important role in the society to support themselves, because they also need new rulers searching for their prestige. Some new rulers also emerged at that time, and some rulers they become the king from the other caste, from the Vedic Varna system. Suppose you know that Vedic Varna system divided among 4 groups: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So some Vaishya and Kshatriya people, they also emerged as a ruler, some lower caste people or some Brahmanas. So that's why, to acknowledge themselves in the society, they also giving some respect and some land grant or wealth to the Brahmanas or especially priests. So in this way, in the medieval period, Hinduism was slowly changed. Now we'll see the emergence of Bhakti. Now you have to know what is the meaning of the patrons. Patrons means a wealthy person or a community or some rulers who usually support with their money and wealth to some artisan, some craftsperson or some priests. So these people usually known as the patrons. We'll see in chapter number 9 how patrons helped in the society to increase our cultural variations and the art, the dance, and also the religious practices. Okay, now we will discuss about the emergence of Bhakti. So first you have to know what is Bhakti. You have already read in class 6 that Bhakti means a particular way of worship that you can in this way you can directly attach to your chosen deity, what you have hold. So now, emergence of bhakti. It is means existence of loving personal deity that devotees could reach without aid of priests and or any elaborate rituals. So in the idea of bhakti at that time in medieval India in 15th, 16th century, that if any person or any group of people they wanted to worship the deity, they do not need any type of equipments or any type of things or any sacrifices or any type of offerings. Without any offerings, sacrifices or equipments, they can worship the deity. And it was the important part of Hinduism in medieval India. We'll discuss in detail about this bhakti in chapter number 8. Now, another religion that was very much influential in the subcontinent, that is Islam. Now, how Islam was introduced in the subcontinent, we learn that introduction of Islam, that merchants and migrants brought the teaching of Islam in India in 7th century AD. 7th century means 600 AD to 700 AD. And Islam was introduced in 7th century in today's Saudi Arabia or Arabian Peninsula. So from before this, they have very good relations with trade relations with India. The Arabs had a good trade relations with the coastal India, and they also involved in the spice trade and the trade of Indian textiles. So that's why when these people accept Islam, those Arab traders accepted Islam in Arabian Peninsula, and when they arrived in India, they brought the holy book of Islam, the Al-Quran, and also they brought the teachings of Islam to India. In this way, the Indian people first, or the people of the subcontinent, first learned about the idea of Islam. Now, the features of Islam. First one, in this particular religion, the main features is the Quran is their holy book. That what is the holy book? Like in Hinduism, the Vedas is the holy book scriptures, and Gita and Vedas, the Ramayana and Mahabharata. And in the same way, in Islam, the Quran is their holy book. And all the rules and regulations to practicing Islam is mentioned in the book. Number 2, that they accept the sovereignty of one God, Allah. So all the Muslims, they have to accept the sovereignty of one God called Allah. And if His bounty, love and mercy accept all who believe in Him without any social difference. If any people, they accept the sovereignty of Allah or believe Him, then the Allah or the Supreme God will mercy him or her and love her and waive all his bad omens. And in this way, they were accepted in the Islam without any social differences. Now, many rulers at that time were patrons of Islam because they also wanted the. Now, you have to know what is the meaning of the patrons. Patrons means a wealthy person or a community or some rulers who usually support with their money and wealth to some artisan, some craftsperson or some priests. So these people usually known as the patrons. We'll see in chapter number 9 how patrons helped in the society to increase our cultural variations and the art, the dance, and also the religious practices. Influence the people to expand their kingdom or their empire. So now the variety of Islam. That like Hinduism, Islam also interpreted in various ways, in different way. Suppose they are mainly divided into two groups. Two different interpretations are mainly emerged in the medieval period among Islam. The first one is Shia. So what is the main idea of the Shia community and what they had believed? We'll see. Now that Shia people, they believed that the Prophet Hazrat Muhammad's son-in-law Ali was the legitimate leader of Muslims. As per the Shias, they believed that the son-in-law of Prophet Muhammad, Ali, was the legitimate successor of Islam, and he will be the first, and he was the first Khalifa. On the other side, the Sunni Muslims, they believed who accepted the authority of the early leaders, Khalifas of the community and their successors. And mainly the Caliphate started from the father-in-law of Hazrat Muhammad, Abu Bakr. So in this way we have seen that who will lead the Islam after the Prophet Muhammad. This is the question, and on this question their communities are divided into two parts, Shia and Sunni. But their main idea was same, but their main differences or variations are who will be their legacies, who will be the successor. So in this way, who will carry the legacy of Prophet Muhammad? This was the main question on this main difference on the two sects. Now, some other schools of law also evolved inside the Islam, and this type of like Hanafi, Safi, Sufi, like Hanafi, Safi, and Sufi are some other schools in law based on different theology and mystic traditions in India. So in this type of different the religious schools and their interpretations also different, and this type of schools mostly seen in India. And what is the meaning of theology? Theology means the deep religious practices, deep religious roots, and theory, deep religious theories, and mystic also some very deep or very secret some practices that was practiced by those Hanafis, Safis and Sufis. They are slightly different from the Shias and Sunnis. Now, who are called ulamas. So we'll see that how in chapter 3 how ulama, the people, they are learned theologists, means they learn about the Islam, the learned person about the Quran, the interpretations of Quran and about the Islam, and they are jurists in Islam. That's all from today's subunit. Thank you for watching and joining this class. Next class will appear with a new subunit.